Okay, so you guys just saw the process of taking down a lock. The second lock that I took down was actually much easier to take down than the first set of lock, the first lock, sorry. So you guys just, okay, so you guys just saw me take down one of my locks from my old set that I cut off in December 2019. And so the second lock was much easier to take down than the first lock that I took down off camera. The first lock I did dry and with the same tools, the push pin and the rat tail comb, and it just took a lot longer and it wasn't a fun process. The second lock was much more fun. The comb, the end of the comb was gliding through my hair a lot smoother than it was the first time around. And in general, what I'm sort of surprised by with this takedown was one, how shiny my hair looked and how soft it looked. And this is 6 months after I last did anything with my hair, so that was amazing to see. Something that I wasn't happy to see was obviously how much buildup I had in my locks as I was taking them down. And obviously I'm not sure when I cut my hair when was the last time that I shampooed it. So that is why I decided to go ahead and clean this set of locks, just so that the hair is clean and I feel good about keeping it for a little bit longer. So this next portion of my little experiments for today, what we are going to do is we are going to look at the hair that I have taken down and figure out what my curl pattern is. So as I was saying, I have 2 locks that I took down. This one on the right, this is the first lock that I took down, and I already started the experiment off camera, but I wanted to go ahead and record this process. So we're going to use a second one to compare both locks to. So what I'm going to do at this point is this one is already wet, so basically what I'm going to do is I am going to shampoo both locks so that they're just clean and cleaner, and just no products on them, just clean bare hair, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and wash these 2 locks. Okay, so for the next part of this experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what my hair type is. So as I was saying, I just took down 1 lock so that I have 2 locks to compare. So I already started the experiment off camera with this lock, and so we're going to go through the experiment again with this lock and then just compare the 2 locks. So what I'm going to do is, this one is already wet, so what I'm going to do is wet this one, and I'm also going to use a little bit of shampoo just so that the locks are clean and it's just nothing but hair. So let's get into that process. Okay, so you just saw me wash these two locks with Suave's clarifying shampoo, and I actually used quite a bit of shampoo, and my hair, I believe, doesn't really like it. So I had to stretch this out because it clumped up together and there's a lot of shrinkage. And for me, when I did have, even with this set of hair, because it's the same texture, when I use too much Suave's clarifying shampoo, it does dry my hair out and strip it of moisture. So if I were to use Suave's a second time, I think my hair would be in worse shape than what it is now. And to test that, I'm actually going to go ahead and wash this another round with Suave. Okay, so that time you could see that I did something a little bit different. I made sure to keep the hair stretched instead of rolling it in a little ball as I was doing the first time around. And then, as you can see, my hair actually has clumped together, and this is something that I wasn't expecting to see. In terms of how my hair feels, I think it still feels soft. I don't feel like it's dry or anything like that, but you can definitely see curl definition after shampooing my hair. It doesn't feel dry like I was anticipating it to feel, but that is totally fine. So now I'm just squeezing any water out, and so what I'm going to do from this point is I'm only going to put product in one lock, and then I'm going to let this dry. And on camera I won't be able to show you the results of this experiment, but what I will do is take a picture so that you can see the difference in the two locks. Obviously we know that we need to factor in that we don't know where in my head these two locks came from, so they could be two different textures and thus react differently. So one lock, this lock on the right, will have product on it, and this one on the left won't have product on it. And then once these locks are dry, we will compare and see how they look. So let's come back in a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the process of me putting Cantu's twist and lock gel. This is what I was using before I started this new set of locks. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the right lock so that we compare it to the left lock and see how it turns out. So this is how much I'm using. I'm probably going to use a lot more. So this is how much I'm using, and I'm probably going to use a lot more. This is just what I'm going to start with. And it's really amazing to see how long my hair is from here down. That's a pretty good amount of length. Grab a little bit more. And the reason why I am being so liberal with this product is because it's not a product that I am currently using. So if I don't use it, it's going to go to waste basically. I don't think anyone else in my family uses this product. So it's there for me to use for this experiment. So I think that is a good amount of product, and you can see that there's a lot more definition. So already you can see that there's a difference in the two, and you can also see what my curls look like. So initially so you can actually see that let me put this left lock down. So with this lock, what you see is these curls, right? At the bottom, you see spirals. So let me hold it up. So you can see spirals right there. You can see it's very circular. At the end, this portion right here is very spiral, whereas the upper portion, so this portion right here of the lock, is very zigzaggy, and then this portion down here is very spirally. So this is very interesting and not something that I was expecting to see within one lock. So this is very interesting. So actually, I'm curious to see what will happen with the other lock. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing and put product on the other one. Okay, so this is the left lock. This is the one that we just shampooed, and we didn't put any product on it. So you can see that it's already kind of frizzy. There's some curl definition. I don't know if it will shrink up more. It's not completely dry. It's still damp, but you can see that there's some curl pattern to it. I'm curious to see what it will do. So let me grab a blow dryer and see if we can blow dry this and change any of the texture or how this lock looks. Okay, so this is the lock that I had on the right that I put product on, and so there's a lot interesting that is happening with this lock. So you can see from right here to here, there is like a zigzag pattern, and then at the very bottom down here, what you see are spirals. And so this, I wasn't expecting to see this within one lock. I was expecting it to be all one way and so on. But what I'm gonna do now is, I still have this lock that we just shampooed, we didn't put any product on, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow dry this lock so that we can get it drier and see how it looks, and then see how it reacts to product. So let's go ahead and blow dry this guy. So let's go ahead and blow dry this one. So this is my blow dryer. It's not in great shape. The last time that I used this was to put in my last set of locks, which I did in December 2017. So I have not really used this one in a really long time. So let's blow dry it. Okay, so you can see that my hair, it springs a little bit, but it's very stiff and it actually doesn't look very healthy actually. I wonder if that is because of how much Suave shampoo I use, but I actually really do not like the way that my hair looks here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet it, and then I'm going to put the Cantu twist and lock gel on it to see what happens. Okay, so I just wet this lock, and you can see that there's a little bit of bounce back to this one, and we're going to put a little bit of product in to start and go from there. I'm going to put a little bit more product in. Okay, so we can see that there are a little bit of differences in this block compared to the other one. So this has that permanent, not that permanent, it has that consistent zigzag pattern throughout this whole entire section. And the other lock, the end of the lock was spirally, and we don't see that happening here. So I believe that in both of these locks we have similar textures, but also possibly two different textures because they are not reacting in the same way. So this makes me curious about what my hair type is. So let's grab the other one. So for comparison, so we can see that this lock has started to shrink a little bit. It's nowhere near as long as the one over here. And obviously it's because it's drying and there's shrinkage as a factor. So you can already see the differences in the two sections of hair. As I was saying earlier, they have like the Z-shaped curl, and the end of one lock is spirally, and the other lock it didn't clump together at all. There wasn't anything different that I did between these two locks. I rubbed the product in the same way, and my hair kind of reacted in a similar way, but there was one noticeable difference. So I'm gonna let these dry some more. So now the next part of this is figuring out what the heck my hair type is. So I was doing some research, and I was actually having a conversation with my sister. We are both curious as to what our hair type is. We know that we have type 4 hair, but we don't know if it's 4A, 4B, or 4C. And to be honest, when you look at the hair typing chart, to me especially, it doesn't really make sense. And it doesn't really seem very clear how to tell which hair type I have. So I had to do a lot of research to figure this out, and it's because there's so many similarities, and it's just really hard to say, hey, that's how my hair looks, that's how my hair reacts, this is what my hair is, or my hair is that. So for me, it was very hard to basically look at the chart and say, hey, my hair is this type, and go from there. So from the research that I did, I used YouTube, and I read this comment on a video about your hair type and figuring out what it is, and the comment struck me because it said if you have 4B hair, basically, your hair when wet or has product on it, it reacts like 4A hair, meaning it has a spiral. But once that hair dries, it dries either undefined or kinky. And I know that from the wash and goes, and I know that from the wash and goes that I did in the past, my hair, when it was wet, when I put product in it, it was very defined, but once it dried, the definition was gone. So that struck a chord with me because that is what my hair has done in the past when I was a loose natural. The other thing that stuck out to me is that it said for C hair, it basically didn't, it was just like a wet cotton and it didn't really react in any way. So, how does this fit into figuring out what the heck my hair type is? So, obviously there's a hair typing chart that has been out for quite some time. You can look at it and see where you fall as far as being a 3 type or type 4. So, how does this help with figuring out my hair type? So, obviously there's a hair typing system. You're either type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Obviously I'm black, so I'm going to be either a 3 or a 4. My hair is a type 4, and the issue for me was figuring out whether I was a type 4A, type 4B, or type 4C. So I had to do some research on this, to be honest, because even looking at the hair typing chart and just seeing what it said about 4A, 4B, and 4C, it wasn't quite clear to me where I fell in and where I fit in and which category. When looking at the hair typing chart and what it said about each type, 4A, 4B, 4C, it wasn't quite clear to me where I fit in. And so I was looking at YouTube, I was looking at a video on hair types, and there was a comment in one of the videos that stuck out to me, and in the comment it basically said that for 4B hair, if you have 4B hair, it reacts when wet or it has product on it, I believe, it reacts like 4A hair, meaning it has this spiral curl. However, once your hair dries, the curl definition is undefined, so you lose the curl definition, and then also your hair goes back kinky. And I know that in the past when I was a loose natural, I used to do wash and goes a lot, and that was exactly what happened to me. I would put product on my hair, there was a lot of definition. Once it dried, however, my hair kind of lost the definition and it kind of went back to its kinky state, and my hair poofed out a little bit. So I feel like from just doing the research that I've been doing, that one comment and this experiment that we just did together, I feel like my hair fits in the 4B category. I'm not sure what you guys feel from watching this video or your own knowledge about hair types, but if you have an idea of what you think my hair type is, feel free to comment down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. What I'm going to do to wrap up and show you the results of this experiment is I'm going to take a picture of my hair when it dries so you can see how it looks with the product on it and in a dried state. I'm also going to finish my second experiment of washing my locks so that going forward I have a clean set of locks to remember my first set by. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell the locks or if I'm just going to throw them out, what I'm going to do with them, but I do know that I've been wanting to clean them for a while, and I'm so happy that I have the time to do that now. And to wrap up, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any questions or feedback for me, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Bye.